All right, so we're diving into numerology today, and specifically, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the number 4. So
Okay.
we've got some really interesting articles here that suggest that it's the number of builders, the architects of the zodiac, which I don't know about you, but I find that pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it's really interesting how consistently the number four is associated with building and structure across different interpretations of numerology.
Yeah.
And it's not just about physical construction, but also about creating systems and order in all aspects of life, like metaphorical building blocks.
Right, exactly. Like those are the foundations that we're talking about, both literally and metaphorically.
Yeah.
The articles mention like practicality, reliability, discipline, and all of those are like cornerstones for any strong foundation.
Absolutely. And think about like the pyramids, for example.
Oh yeah.
They've stood the test of time because of their incredibly solid foundation, their structure, right? So people with a strong number four influence might be drawn to those tangible representations of stability.
So it's not just about being organized, it's about like having a plan and sticking to it, seeing things through, which um,
Yeah.
it makes me think about something we were discussing earlier about Oprah Winfrey and Bill Gates.
Right.
They're both, known for their incredible work ethic and discipline.
Absolutely. And if you look at their legacies, they've both created empires, structures that have changed the world, right? Oprah with her media empire and Bill Gates with Microsoft. That's that energy of number four in action, building something lasting and influential.
Yeah, that's a really interesting connection to like see those traits play out on such a large scale.
Yeah.
But what about like in everyday life, How does this love of structure actually manifest for someone with a strong number 4 influence?
Well, they might be drawn to careers where precision and systems are key.
Okay.
So think engineering, architecture, finance fields, where attention to detail and a methodical approach are just, they're crucial.
Yeah, it's like they have a blueprint for success and they're very meticulous about following it.
Exactly.
And one article even mentioned IT and real estate as strong career choices for number 4s.
Yeah.
What do you think is the connection there?
Well, both of those fields require strategic thinking, organization, and an eye for spotting opportunities that others might miss. In real estate, it's about understanding the structure of the market, the foundations of a good investment.
Right.
And in IT, it's about building systems, creating order out of complex code.
It's like they have a knack for seeing the framework, the underlying structure,
Yeah.
whether it's a building, a market trend, or a computer program.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're not just builders, they're also problem solvers, right?
Absolutely. Their analytical minds and love of systems make them excellent problem solvers.
Mm.
They can break down complex issues into manageable steps, identifying the root cause, and finding practical solutions.
But it's not all work and no play,
Yeah.
right?
Right, of course.
Even the most dedicated builders need time to relax and recharge.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And this is where things get interesting because number fours might need a little encouragement in that area. Their dedication and drive are admirable, but they can also lead to workaholism and a reluctance to let go.
It's that classic double-edged sword.
Hmm.
Their biggest strength can also become their Achilles heel.
Exactly.
So how do they find that balance, that sweet spot between structure and flexibility?
That's something we'll definitely delve into further, but for now, it's important to understand that number fours thrive on routine and stability.
Okay.
And it's not about forcing them to change completely,
Right.
but rather about helping them see the value in incorporating more flexibility and spontaneity into their lives.
It's about loosening the grip a little, allowing for those happy accidents, those unplanned moments of joy.
Exactly.
Speaking of joy, let's talk about relationships.
Okay.
How does this, grounded, practical energy translate into their interactions with loved ones?
Well, they're incredibly loyal and dependable partners and friends.
Mm.
You can always count on a number four to be there for you, to offer a helping hand. They bring that same sense of stability and commitment to their personal relationships that they bring to their work. But, because they're so grounded in practicality,
Yeah.
they might not always be the most expressive when it comes to their emotions.
So they're not necessarily the type to, like, shower you with grand romantic gestures,
Right.
but their actions speak volumes.
Exactly. They show their love through their dependability, their willingness to help, their unwavering support. And for someone who appreciates that kind of steady, reliable love, a relationship with a number four can be incredibly grounding and fulfilling.
Yeah, it's about understanding their love language, less about words and more about actions. Now, several sources mention that number 4s have a connection to the planet Rahu. in Vedic astrology.
Okay.
Can you explain that a bit further? For those who aren't familiar with Vedic astrology, what is Rahu and how does it influence the number 4?
It's a fascinating concept. Rahu, unlike the other planets in astrology, isn't a physical celestial body. It's considered a shadow planet, a point in space that represents ambition, desire, and a pushing of boundaries.
A shadow planet that sounds so mysterious and powerful.
Right?
So how does that energy manifest in the lives of those with a strong number 4 influence?
It's like this underlying current of ambition that fuels their drive and determination. Rahu's energy encourages them to break free from limitations, to reach for their goals with unwavering focus.
But earlier we talked about how number 4s can be hesitant about change, about
Right.
stepping outside their comfort zones.
Yeah.
So is it like this internal tug of war between their need for stability and Rahu's influence urging them to expand?
That's a great observation. It's about finding that balance. And this is where self-awareness becomes crucial for number 4s. Understanding that this internal tension exists can help them navigate it more effectively.
So it's not about suppressing their natural desire for structure,
Right.
but rather about learning to embrace change and uncertainty as opportunities for growth.
Precisely. It's about finding ways to channel that Rahu energy, that ambition and drive, in a way that aligns with their values and their desire for stability.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hmm?
So we've talked about their strengths,
Right.
their potential challenges,
Hmm.
but what about their past to personal growth? What can help a number 4 truly thrive?
One important aspect is learning to embrace their creative side. Now, you might not immediately think of number 4s as being particularly artistic,
Right.
but they often have a hidden creative spark.
Interesting. So it's about like tapping into that inner artist, finding outlets that allow for self-expression and a break from their structured routines.
Exactly, whether it's painting, writing, playing music, or even something like gardening. Engaging in creative pursuits can help them tap into a different side of themselves, a side that embraces spontaneity and allows for a different kind of flow.
It's like adding a splash of color to their perfectly organized world.
Yeah.
Now, we touched on the importance of balance earlier,
Yeah.
but I think it's worth revisiting. What are some practical ways that number 4s can create more balance in their lives, especially when it comes to work and personal life?
Setting boundaries is key because they're so dedicated to their work and responsibilities. They might have a tendency to overcommit or neglect their own needs.
Is that classic trap of putting everyone else's needs before their own?
Exactly.
So how do they break free from that pattern?
It takes conscious effort and practice. They can start by scheduling in time for themselves, just like they would schedule an important meeting.
So it's about literally putting it on the calendar, time for relaxation, hobbies, spending time with loved ones,
Yeah,
things that nourish their soul, not just their to-do list.
exactly. And it's also about learning to say no sometimes. Saying no to additional commitments when they're already feeling stretched allows them to protect their energy and prevent burnout.
It's about recognizing that their worth isn't tied to how much they do, but rather to how well they take care of themselves and those they love.
Absolutely. And sometimes they might need a gentle reminder from those closest to them to slow down, to take a break, to prioritize their well-being.
It's a team effort, really.
Yeah.
Surrounding themselves with people who support their growth and encourage them to find that balance is so important.
Hmm.
Now, we've talked about the importance of flexibility and embracing change.
Yeah.
But what about when those changes are thrust upon them unexpectedly? How do number 4s typically handle unexpected challenges or disruptions to their carefully crafted plans? This is where their love of structure can be both a blessing and a curse, right?
Exactly. They might initially resist the change, try to cling to their plans, but their resilience and problem-solving skills eventually kick in.
It's like, okay, this wasn't part of the blueprint, but let's figure out a new way forward.
Precisely. They might not welcome the challenge, but they'll face it head on, using their analytical minds to find a way to rebuild and regain a sense of control.
So they're adaptable, even if it takes them a minute to get there.
Exactly. And this is another area where their support system is crucial. Having loved ones who can provide emotional support and encouragement during times of uncertainty can make a world of difference.
Because even the strongest builders sometimes need a helping hand, right?
Absolutely. Now, you've mentioned that you're particularly interested in the gemstones associated with the number 4. We briefly touched on them earlier, but let's explore those a bit further. The articles mention Gomed and Hessonite as being particularly beneficial.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the significance of those gemstones, and how might they enhance the positive qualities of a number 4?
In many traditions, gemstones are believed to have specific energetic properties. GOMED is associated with grounding, stability, and protection from negative influences, which can be especially helpful for number fours who are prone to overthinking or anxiety.
So it's like a grounding force, helping them stay centered and focused amidst chaos or stress.
Exactly. Hessonite, on the other hand, is believed to enhance self-confidence, creativity, and the ability to manifest one's goals. This can be incredibly beneficial for number fours who might struggle with self-doubt or a fear of taking risks.
It's like giving their inner drive a boost, helping them tap into their full potential.
Precisely. Now, it's important to note that the effects of gemstones are often subtle and can vary from person to person. It's always best to approach these things with an open mind and see what resonates with you.
That makes sense. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of number 4, what would you say are the key takeaways for someone looking to understand and embrace the energy of this number?
Well, first and foremost, it's about recognizing the strengths of number four, the practicality, the reliability, the dedication, the incredible ability to create structure and stability. These are powerful qualities that can lead to great success and fulfillment.
Absolutely. But it's also about acknowledging the potential challenges, right?
Exactly. The tendency towards rigidity, the difficulty expressing emotions, the potential for workaholism. These are all things to be aware of.
Because awareness is the first step towards growth, right?
Exactly. And the beautiful thing is that by understanding their strengths and weaknesses, number fours can make conscious choices to create a life that truly aligns with their values and aspirations.
So it's about finding that sweet spot, that balance between structure and flexibility, logic and intuition, work and play.
Precisely. And remember, this journey of self-discovery is ongoing. There will be ups and downs, moments of clarity and moments of confusion, but it's all part of the process.
It's about embracing the journey, learning from every experience, and using those lessons to build an even stronger foundation for the future.
Beautifully said.
This has been such an enlightening conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today.
It's been my pleasure.
And to you listening, remember, numerology is a fascinating tool for self-discovery, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. The most important thing is to trust your intuition, embrace your unique qualities, and create a life that feels authentically you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the mysteries of the universe and yourself.